share, recipe share. Share a little recipe with recipe share. Recipe share, recipe share. Share a little recipe with recipe share.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for this episode of Recipe Share, a program on AADL TV where we take a few minutes to talk about recipes in a featured category. Today's category is Standout Sides. I am Elizabeth, and as usual, I'm joined today by Katie and Beth to tell us about their recipes. So, Katie, tell us about your standout side.
Okay, I will. I first want to acknowledge that the name of this category is very weird. I suggested it and then didn't realize until well into planning phases that it kind of sounds like food that you eat outside, but we're actually talking about side dishes that stand out. So my recipe today comes from the website Cookie and Kate. And this site, I find recipes there all the time. I see you guys nodding, so I can tell that you've heard of it too. I just always end up really liking what she's making. So I was excited to see this recipe for strawberry, basil, and goat cheese salad with balsamic drizzle. So I'm a big fan of fruit salad. I make fruit salad every week, a big bowl of it, but it does get a little boring sometimes. So I was excited to see this variation of fruit salad, especially as we're approaching strawberry season. So this salad makes a large portion. It calls for a pound of strawberries. When I made it, I just made like a single serving portion of it, but I do anticipate making this for a larger crowd. But anyway, you take your strawberries and you dice them up, and then you spread them across a serving platter. And it does say if the particular strawberries that you have are not sweet enough that you could toss them with honey to make them a little bit sweeter. I ended up using honey later though. So you take crumbled goat cheese, and I have found that the Meyer brand of crumbled goat cheese is really nice. It's got these small little crumbles and it's reasonably priced. So I highly recommend that stuff. You sprinkle it over top of your strawberries, followed by a sprinkling of chopped basil. And then you drizzle the balsamic vinegar. Now you want a thick balsamic vinegar, so you can make that yourself, or you can, if you're buying it, you want to look for a balsamic glaze, so that it's not like the runny stuff. Drizzle that over top, and then it says to drizzle olive oil on top as well. But here's where I chose to put the honey in instead. So I decided to do a honey drizzle instead of the olive oil. And then you finish it with a little bit of salt, a few twists of freshly ground black pepper, and then a couple more basil leaves. It looks really, really pretty. I've got a picture of it. Like I said, just made a small portion of it, but can definitely see making like a big platter or bowl of this for potluck or just like a dinner with friends. I think it's really simple and nice and so tasty.
Sounds great. I'm a little surprised you diced the strawberries. So how small? I mean, I would usually just have them. How small did you make them?
So they're pretty small. So
Okay.
like just like
Yeah.
a half inch to inch dice. So what I thought that was unusual about this recipe as well. I hadn't seen a strawberry salad prepared that way before, but I really liked it because you're just like getting forkfuls of chunks of strawberry. It was good.
Did it get pretty juicy? It seems like it would be.
I think that if you left it for a little bit, it might get juicy. I just basically chopped it up, constructed it, and ate it. So it didn't really maybe have a chance to. I wonder if maybe you wanted to pat the strawberries dry after dicing them to prevent that. If you're making a larger portion, maybe. But
Sounds good. I made balsamic glaze for some other recipe a while ago. So I do have that. That would be really, sounds simple enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how easy it sounds. That's what I was gonna
Mhm.
say. If you're going to like a picnic or a potluck, you can make this in like 10 minutes. I love that.
Yep, for sure. For sure. Okay, well, Beth, tell us about your standout sides.
Well, my standout side I made indoors. It was, and I don't even have a picture of it, but there's a beautiful picture on the website that I got it from, which was from Two Cooks in the Kitchen. Or Two Kooks in the Kitchen. It's KOOKS in the kitchen.com. It's Parmesan roasted cauliflower. Um, I just took a head of fresh cauliflower and chopped up broke up the florets, and then mixed olive oil, garlic, salt, pepper, Parmesan cheese, and parsley in a bowl, and then tossed it, and then laid it out on the baking pan. Set my oven to 425, and then bake it and roast it for 20 to 30 minutes. So it gets like brown and crispy. And that's it. And it was good. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with that, right? And I love how crunchy it got too. So yeah, it was good.
That's
I missed, how
awesome.
did you get the Parmesan to stick to it? I think I missed something.
Just with the olive oil,
Oh,
and
olive
so
oil.
it's a
Okay,
mixture
that's
of,
right.
yeah, olive oil, excuse me, salt, pepper, and then parm. And I use fresh parm, not.
Ooh, I bet that's
Oh.
good. See, I roast cauliflower like this, but I don't put the parm in. So I feel like that I've been missing something, and I'm glad to know that it's fresh grated too. I've been doing that more often with just about like all cheese at this point. So
Mhm.
cool, yeah,
I
simple,
think
tasty.
I may have added red pepper flakes. I believe I did. So you can just play with it. So anyway, that was mine, and hopefully you'll get to try it. Elizabeth, what did you make?
Okay, I have to pull up on my phone the recipe because it's from New York Times Cooking. Um, and this is for esquites, which is the salad form of elotes. And I feel like elotes have been discussed on Recipe Share before. I can't remember by who. It might have been me. It might have been Beth. Maybe it was Katie. I don't know. But anyway, this is the salad version, which I was excited about. I was looking for a good summer side, and I think this is it. So basically it calls for fresh corn kernels. I never do this because I'm just like, I'm not gonna cook corn, wait for it to cool, cut it off the cob. I don't know. It's probably better with fresh corn, especially when it's in season, but this was fine with frozen corn. So you take 6 cups of corn kernels, and in a big skillet, you heat oil over medium high heat, and then you add the corn, season with salt and pepper, and you cook until it's kind of charred and softened. And this is supposed to take about 8 to 10 minutes. Took a little longer for me, probably because I used frozen corn. And then you're supposed to turn off the heat and let it just sit without touching it for 2 minutes, because apparently that helps it pick up more flavor. So that's fine. So while your corn is cooking in a bowl, you combine 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 6 tablespoons of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of fresh cilantro, and it says a tablespoon of fresh lime juice. I just squeezed half a lime in. And then you season that with salt and pepper. And you then put the corn in a big bowl, toss with more salt and pepper, and then you add the sauce that you've made in, and garnish with fresh cotija cheese, so like little crumbles, and chili powder. And I actually used smoked paprika instead of chili powder, which was great. I would highly recommend that. And then you're supposed to garnish it with more cilantro and serve it with lime wedges to squeeze on. Here's a photo of what it looks like here in the bowl. And it was great. I mean, what's not to love? Really nice grilling side dish, came together easily, no questions about like the steps or like, oh, this didn't look right. Super good, and much easier to eat than an actual elote, which is difficult, and I feel like all the toppings always fall off for me. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep making it all summer, and I think it would also be a good thing to bring to a potluck or a barbecue or something like that. Although um I guess it wouldn't do great sitting outside for a long time because of the mayo and sour cream. So I don't know, maybe not, but I would bring it and keep it chilled, I guess. So yeah, really good. And it was a hit. I served it to a couple friends and they liked it too. So
Hard to go wrong. Did you call it an elote salad? No, what was it called?
it's called esquites. So it's
Esquite. Okay,
ESQUITES.
Ah.
okay.
So I've seen this recipe before, and I think I may have even eaten this recipe before, but I've never heard that name before. So good to know. And recipe sounds fantastic. Can't wait to make it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of recipes for like elote salad, but I had
Yeah.
not heard this word for it before.
Okay.
So caught my
Yeah.
eye.
I think I was looking it up last year, farmers market finds, I did one, but I mean,
Yes.
it's still good.
Yeah.
And you called it something else, so. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds super yummy. I know it's a hassle to do that with the corn on the cobs, but I got a bunch of recipes with using that corn water, after you cook it.
Yeah.
And I have a soup recipe I use with it, so.
Oh,
When
that's
it becomes
good.
the season,
It's worth
got
it.
some value to it,
Yeah,
but
that's
it
a
is a
good
hassle. Yeah.
I mean, it's not even that much of a hassle. It's just a little
I mean,
more time consuming,
personally, I don't cut it. It doesn't come off like it doesn't the way it looks on
I
TV.
know.
Oh, it's all off. No, it's like spurts all over, and
Yeah.
so. But thanks for sharing.
Well, if we have no further comments, I will say thank you for watching Recipe Share. Be sure to click the link below to look at the event page on aadl.org to find the recipes we talked about, and do feel free to share your own in the comments. Join us next time on Recipe Share, and we'll be talking about date night dinners. We are looking forward to seeing what you've been making, so thanks for sharing.
Recipe share, share a little recipe.